Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another fun and informative Geezer Golf with Tony video. Today, we're going to talk about putting. No, I'm not going to teach you how to putt, but I'm going to talk about some of the things that are important in putting for me and what may be for you. We're all different, and we need to focus on different things to putt well. So today, we're going to talk about things like putters, lines on the ball, visualization, and some other important aspects of putting. My hope is that you will be a better putter after you watch this video. But again, I'm not going to tell you how you have to putt. That's totally up to you. So let's get started over here on the putting green. So first I'm going to say that I putt with an arm lock putter. I'm not trying to get anyone to putt with an arm lock putter. I'm not going to say that you need to putt with an arm lock putter. It's just my preference. It feels a lot more stable to me and a lot less wobbly when I make a stroke. I can still putt well with a normal putter too, but I just prefer the arm lock. Now, a lot of people don't like the arm lock. They have trouble with their speed and distance, especially on the longer putts. And you know what? I did too when I first started using it. So what I did was from about 15 feet in, I locked it on the arm, and from farther out, I just held it as a normal putter and didn't lock it. And then over time, I got used to it. So now I lock it on all putts. I don't care if it's a 60 footer, I lock it on my arm. So, there are some people just are not patient enough to get there, to get to that point with their arm lock putters, and they give up on them. There's also the opinion of many that it should be illegal. Now, I don't agree with that, but if it's legal, why not do it? I think there are many other things that should be made illegal before an arm lock putter should be made illegal, such as also to do with putting a line on your ball. Some few years ago, the USGA made it against the rules for a caddy to help align a player when he's playing a shot or a putt. Their reasoning was that, hey, a player should be able to aim himself, but yet they're able to take a line and put it on a ball, and they're not aligning themselves. They're aligning the ball or the line on the ball from behind it, and it's an aid to their aim. So I don't see the difference there. So to me, just for that one reason, I think the line on the ball should be made against the rules. However, it's not. So, it's a good thing for a lot of people. I personally don't use it, and I'm going to explain why. One is I have a lot of trouble aiming that thing, and I have to go back and forth. You align the line squatting down over the ball, and then you back up and you say, "Oh, that's too far to the left," and you move it just barely as small amount as you can, and you go back and look, and it's to the right. Then you go back and you move it, and you're still not there, and you go back 3 4 times, and then by the time you're ready to putt, I feel like I've taken so long, I need to hurry up, and so that kind of takes me out of my rhythm. In addition, just worrying about the line and the alignment on the putter and the alignment on my ball kind of for me takes the feel out of the putt, and I get mechanical. So just for me, what I do is I turn the ball up to where I see nothing, just the white side of it, and no words or letters or numbers or lines or anything. I just want to see a white ball because I'm gonna be honest, when I putt, I aim the ball and not the putter. So I don't want anything to influence that. We'll get more into that in a minute as I talk about actually putting. So if you prefer this normal link putter, that's fine. I prefer an arm lock putter, but what we're going to talk about applies to both. So let's get over here on the green and get started. Okay, so what I want everyone to understand first and foremost is that the number one most important thing to about making putts is where your putter face is aimed when it makes impact with the ball. The path is very much less important than the face. And I'm going to demonstrate that here in a second. But this is true with any shot, be it a chip shot, an iron, a driver, or a putt. The ball will always leave the club face in the direction the club face is pointing when it makes impact, regardless of the path. On full shots, the path influences the spin, which influences the curvature. But in putting, it's very much less so. So I'm going to demonstrate this. I've got this ball about, I want to say, 2 feet from the hole here. I'll get these other two over. I'm going to keep the club face, the putter face, pointed at the hole, and I'm going to extremely cut across it. Okay, now I'm going to do just the opposite. I'm going to keep the putter face at the hole, and I'm going to extremely cut from the inside. Then, of course, we have the straight in one, or the straight path, which is much easier, and it's all about where that club face is pointed when it makes impact with the ball. So once we understand that, then we've got to make sure that we know where the putter face is aimed. Now, on a 2-footer, it's easy. On an 8 or 10-footer, you're never so sure. So the second important point about putting is knowing that you can aim where you're trying to aim, because most putts have some kind of break in them. Even if it's a straight putt, if you don't aim it at the hole, your path can be perfectly straight at the hole, and if the club face isn't pointed there, the ball's not going to go there. So point number 2 is, can you aim where you think you're aiming? Third would be speed control. On a breaking putt, the speed and the line, or the speed and the aim of the face, have to match. There are maybe 3 ways to make a breaking putt. You can jam it in there pretty straight, or you can play some break and hit it medium speed, or you can just barely reach the hole and it'll break even more. So the club face and the speed have to match in order for a putt to go in. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So for aiming, as I said, some people use the line. Perfectly legal. Some balls are made with lines on them, like this Callaway ball. I'm not sure if you can see those lines from there, but I've got the triple track here, and you can just aim that and then aim your putter with it, and you know your aim correctly. And that's, I guess, the easy part about putting with a line, is that you know where your putter's aimed. So that's the good part of it. When I get further out, then I'm not so sure, and it's hard to aim the line. It's harder to aim the line from 10 or 20 feet than it is from 2. So how do you know when you're aimed, where you think you're aimed? Well, you need either a camera or someone to help you. And you're going to see a lot of teachers that tell you that your eyes must be directly over that ball, and that's not necessarily the case. You just need to be in a position that wherever that position is, that you can aim your putter face where you think it's aimed. You can see it where it's really aimed. Mine happens to be with the ball outside my eye line, with my head turned a little towards the hole and a little left, so I can use my dominant right eye. And I went through an exercise to learn this. And now that I've found my position where I know I'm aimed, I'm a much better putter than I was in the past, because it gives you the confidence that, hey, yeah, I know I'm aimed there, and all I got to do is make a good stroke. In the past, I knew I wasn't aimed where I thought I was aimed. I didn't know how to fix it. And so I putted terribly because I never had any confidence in what I was doing. So point number 3 about distance control or speed control is going to be about how you stroke the ball, or how your cadence is. Some people, I see a lot of people doing this because they've been told all their life to accelerate through the ball. And so they're doing this itty bitty stroke and a big hard follow through. And it may keep the face on line pretty well, but you can't control your speed. I see those people 3-putting. They'll either leave a 20-footer 6 feet short, or they'll hit an 18-footer 8 feet by. They can't control the speed. So I like to tell my students when I'm giving a lesson, take as much backswing as possible without having to decelerate. So it should be more of a same speed. So we control how far the ball goes by how much backswing we take. So if I were to hit I'm not going to put this in the hole, but just down a little bit. If I were to put a 6-footer, I wouldn't take that much backswing. Do something like that. And if I was to put a 20-footer, I wouldn't punch it harder. I would just take the club back more and keep the same speed. An even longer putt, an even longer swing. Just don't punch it. Keep it smooth. So once you begin to do that, you'll start learning to control your speed to match your line. So now I'm going to talk about what I see when I putt, or what I visualize that helps make it easy. I like to have a very big target. I've seen a lot of pros say, well, make your target as small as possible. Aim your drive at a limb on that tree or a pine cone or something. For me, that doesn't work. It's too stressful. I like to have a big target that anywhere within that area is acceptable. So I see an area, and I go by on putting and chipping, I go by the 10% rule, which is, a 20-footer, you should see a 2-foot, actually it's a 4-foot circle around the hole to get it within 2 feet. If you've got a 60-footer, you're going to see a 12-foot circle. You can get it within 6 feet. So if you can learn to visualize that, it makes things a lot easier. So this one's about 30 feet, so I see a big 6-foot circle here. And all I'm going to do is just kind of roll that ball up into that circle. And that's a very acceptable putt. I mean, who among us out here playing casual golf can make 30-footers on purpose? We're not on tour. So we just want to hit an acceptable shot that we don't leave any work on the next putt. So if we had an even longer putt, let's say to the fringe, that's about 50 feet. So I'd see a big 10-foot circle around what the hole would be, and I'm going to roll it into that area just like that. So those are some of the things that help me putt better. And I'm not a great putter, but I feel like I'm a good putter. And for most of us geezers and even the youngsters, I think we can learn to improve by not trying to make everything that we putt. We play the game as it is. If your putt is too long, make sure you don't 3-putt. Your scores will come out a lot better. So for now, this is Geezer Tony signing off. Till next time.